When Vince Carter put on that clinic at the 2000 NBA Slam Dunk Contest, the announcers and really everyone who saw it couldn't help but proclaim emphatically that the dunk contest was back. That, by the way, was true in both a figurative and literal sense. The National Basketball Association obviously 86 the dunk contest for the 1998 season. And then in 1999, the lockout caused all of All-Star Weekend to be canceled. 2000 was the first time the dunk contest had made an appearance since 1997. Vinsanity showing out in Oakland was the most iconic NBA Slam Dunk Contest performance since Michael Jordan, although we probably don't give Harold Miner the credit he deserves. Regardless, it put the event back on the map, and I think for people of my age who were in high school at the time of the 2000 NBA Dunk Contest, it made us just fall in love with this event. You know, we didn't get to see MJ or Dominique Wilkins dunk it out in their primes. This was sort of our generation's version of that. If I'm being honest, I don't even remember if I watched the 97 NBA Slam Dunk Contest or not. I think it's probably one of those terrible memories that has just been erased. That, of course, saw the spectacular shelved by David Stern. Kobe Bryant that year beat like a couple of three-point specialists, LeBron James's current head coach Bob Sura, and Chris Carr. It could best be described as a leisurely stroll of dunking in a shooting shirt. Okay, so Kobe didn't actually wear that shooting shirt during all of his dunks in the 97 NBA Slam Dunk Contest, but the dunk he did in the shooting shirt just happens to be the lasting image from that event. The same goes for 1996 and Brent Barry, who did his free throw line dunk in a shooting shirt as well. I can't help but think that these two performing their most notable dunks in their respective dunk contest really confirmed the perception that players weren't trying very hard and they didn't care all of that much about winning this event. To that end, it is completely fair to say the NBA Slam Dunk Contest died in 1997 or somewhere thereafter, and that it was resurrected. It was back, for lack of a better term, in the year 2000 after Vince Carter.
So the slam dunk competition has made its return in a big way.
However, in just about every year since that performance, we have had to hear either that the dunk contest is dead.
That was the worst slam dunk contest in the history of basketball.
Or that the dunk contest is back.
I gotta tell you something. The dunk contest is back.
It is pretty much clockwork at this point. You don't need a calendar. You don't need to watch to tell you where you are at in the month of February. You simply just have to listen for the kerfuffle surrounding the NBA dunk contest being back or the slam dunk contest being dead, because it is bound to happen. Gerald Green wins in 2007. The dunk contest is dead. Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard go at it. The dunk contest is back. Hooray! Blake Griffin jumps over Ikea. The dunk contest is dead. Boo! Terrence Ross channels Vince Carter and the dunk contest is back. Huzzah! Whatever the hell happened in 2014, the dunk contest is dead again. Sad. So, in fairness, it did seem like the league was definitely trying to kill the dunk contest with whatever the hell they were trying to do during the 2014 version of this event. I think the powers that be in the NBA offices just assumed the convoluted rules and nature of the 2014 dunk contest would be so unpopular that fans would turn against the event itself. Now, that did not happen. Fans saw through that charade and turned their vile and their vitriol against those who put into place. That's just ridiculous. It was such a bad idea. Everyone who heard what the dunk contest rules were in 2014 absolutely panned them and just said this isn't going to work. And then we get to All-Star Weekend in 2014 and it didn't work. Against all odds, it managed to survive that outing, and then Zach LaVine came back and he saved the dunk contest. The dunk contest was back for the umpteenth time in my lifetime. All of the talk, all of the hype around the status of the NBA dunk contest in any given year, to me, it's something that should permeate all of sports discussions. You know, some things are good, Some things are bad, and that's just how it is. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The 2007 NBA Finals were terrible by any metric you want to measure it by. It was a flat out terrible series, a terrible performance all around. There was no saving grace, there was no silver lining. The basketball was just flat out unwatchable. The San Antonio Spurs won a playoff game by scoring 75 points. And no, this wasn't a case of, it was defense and players tried hard on defense. While I do believe that is an argument you can have today in the current NBA, this wasn't the thing in 2007 with the finals. It was just sloppy, it was gunky, it was just unentertaining. No one wants to go back and relive the 2007 NBA Finals. Yet despite that, and let's make no mistake, everyone at the time knew just how bad the 2007 NBA Finals were. No one, though, said we should stop playing the NBA Finals, like cancel basketball. That was never an argument. No one said the NBA Finals are dead. And thankfully, no one did that because, of course, we would get the Boston Celtics in the Big Three and then Kobe's last championship run with the Lakers. No one was talking about how the league was back either during those years. It just was what it was. That, to me, is the most annoying aspect of people either wanting to lament the death of the NBA Slam Dunk Contest or to champion its resurrection and hailing the fact that it has returned from parts unknown. Why can't it just be good or bad or mediocre and we all just leave it as that? No need to bury it. No need to anoint it as a second coming. Just something that happens once a year. Now, are some years better than others? Absolutely. That's how all sports work. When I, or basically anyone, pays to go see an NBA regular season game and it just happens to be boring or uncompetitive, no one leaves the arena thinking, well, the NBA is dead or this team is dead or whatever the case may be. And on the flip side of that, if you do go to an NBA game and it's really exciting, back and forth contest, you don't leave thinking, well, the NBA is back. All games are different. You don't know what to expect when you attend any game, regardless of what happened last time. And what happened last time, of course, will not dictate what happened in the future, unless you happen to be a fan of the Sacramento Kings in the 2010s, when you could pretty much be guaranteed that they were going to roll out some terrible lineup full of players who should have never been starting. Let's keep it moving before I fall into a pit of despair remembering Jason Thompson. Anyway, you would think before every single NBA Slam Dunk Contest that the Men in Black guys hit just about everyone watching with the neuralizer and that they forget everything that came before it. Perhaps a reason for this is the fact that the event is just a very separate and compartmentalized aspect of the basketball calendar. As you move away from the previous year or previous year's dunk contest, you don't really remember the nitty-gritty of it all. You just remember the highlights, and if those highlights were good, you tend to think that, well, that was a good dunk contest. And alternatively, if there weren't many highlights to remember, say Jeremy Evans, then you just sort of dismiss it as being bad, which then leads you heading into the next contest with probably unrealistic expectations. So when they get surpassed, I think people just get too hyped up, and when they fail to meet expectations, people get too down in the dumps. It really doesn't have to be that way. We can just appreciate the NBA Slam Dunk Contest for what it is. That, of course, being an exhibition, a fun sideshow during All-Star Weekend. Sometimes we get those highlight reel moments that we'll never forget. You know, for me, 2000 Vince Carter is something that I could watch again and again and again. And I know those folks older than me will obviously go back to the Dominique Wilkins and the Michael Jordans and the Spud Webbs. And again, people older than them go back to Dr. J. Those are the moments we remember and cherish. Now, throughout the event's history, though, there have been down years or years where the dunks just didn't live up to our perhaps overly lofty expectations, what we've come to expect in those just mountaintop years of greatness. That's okay, though, because if it wasn't for the down years, I don't think those highlight reel moments would be so special. More importantly, even the down years, it's still better to have the dunk contest than no dunk contest. Is it better to have Jamario Moon doing whatever the hell Jamario Moon was doing to get the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine duels, to get Michael Jordan, to get Spud, to get all of those great moments, is it worth going through the down years? Hell yeah, absolutely it is. With that in mind, regardless of what happens at this year's NBA Slam Dunk Contest or any dunk contest between now and the end of times, it is not dead, nor is it back. The NBA Slam Dunk Contest just is, and that's the way it should be. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to know a little bit more about the Golden State Warriors bizarro dynasty where they keep Monta Ellis instead of Steph Curry, well, video in the upper right hand corner of your screen is the place to go. Well, until next time, I'm Cheyenne Hollis. This is The Touchback, and as always, hashtag take it out to the 25.